And welcome back to another episode of The Merge. Try to make it sound more, spooky or tantalizing for our listeners, but I've probably totally ruined it, right? I tried to do my inner David Hasselhoff, and there's probably a lot of listeners who are like, who's David Hasselhoff? Go and Google it. He drove a very nice car in the 80s, right? But yeah, another episode of The Merge. We've only got Chris and Guil on, veterans of the show, right? But yeah, Chris has got a hard stop, and he's saving the world today. Say sorry. It's work, dude. It's work. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, let's just get into what Chris has been doing straight away, because he's the one that's got to leave. Chris,
I've been really, really busy the last few weeks, last month. Whirlwind tour.
Yeah, what have you been up to? Anything you can talk about?
I mean, I was in Lisbon for Azure Dev Summit, and then I was in Warsaw, Poland for C# Developer Days, and then Stavanger, Norway for Hello Stavanger, Techorama, Netherlands in Utrecht, and then came back to the States and went up to Tech Bash up in the Poconos last week. Now I'm back this week, but got some work meetings, got a local security conference. Next week's Live 360, and Thanksgiving, and then Build Stuff Lithuania is coming up in Vilnius. So just been busy.
Dude, sounds like you got your air miles checked in there.
I do stupid, but at Tech Bash or at Techorama, someone gave me a Lego rubber ducky. So you build it, and it's a little rubber ducky. It's got eyes and stuff, and I'm like, do I build it?
When you said rubber ducky, I automatically thought it was a USB call home, right? Stick. You're actually saying an actual rubber ducky, right? That floats in the bathtub.
It makes a little duck and Lego, and I'm like, do I build it or do I just keep it? I think I keep it, right?
I think you need to build it, right?
You think I need to build it?
I would not be able to keep it in a package at all. I would assemble it right away.
I've got a couple of Legos all around me, so
yeah. Well, that is true, and I'm referencing The Simpsons here. It would no longer be a collectible, right? If you open it out the pack, right? So
I mean, I'm not that guy usually of keeping things in the package. I really am not.
My son has that dilemma when I get him something. He's like, I really want to take it out of the box. And then he does the impression of the collector at The Simpsons, and he's like, it's coming out of the box. It's coming out of the box.
NIB, baby. New in box.
New in box, right? But yeah, there's a lot of conferences you've been to, right? One of my goals is to do more speaking next year.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out where to start, where to go. Somebody messaged me and was like, "Hey Kev, next year, do you want to talk at KubeCon with me?" And I'm like, "That's like going 0 to 100 straight away." I was like,
"No, you should do it." And some of my favorite organizers are doing one up in Canada. So there's, I think, NDC Toronto next year.
Really?
Yeah, I love the NDC crew. They got me going to Norway and Portugal and Copenhagen and Australia. I like some of my favorite people. They're absolutely incredible. The conferences they put on are amazing. They were partners at the Azure Dev Summit. They're good folks, and they have good speakers and a really good experience.
Okay, sounds like introduction.
I love the European conferences. One, it's Europe, not
North America.
Not Florida.
You want about the food? I think you're trying to get to the food part, right? Of Europe.
Oh, I love the food. The food.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love a good cheeseburger. I'm not saying that's the.
I've never eaten at an American fast food chain in Europe.
Right.
I don't go to Europe to get McDonald's or Burger King.
The first thing I noticed when I landed was, one, how much caffeine's added to food here, and two, the amount of salt and sugar. I went to Starbucks here and got one of those marshmallow blocks, right? I think it's called a dream bar, right, or something.
Yeah.
I felt like I was wired for a nightclub for 2 days. I was like, just
Doro
off
beat it.
they literally, I was like, woo, right?
Diabetes, like that. Oh my god, dude, the amount of sugar in everything in the States is just insane.
Even in
Bread,
Canada, dude. Even in
hummus,
Canada.
hummus. They add sugar to hummus.
Whoa, that's the
No,
Greeks.
like if you look in the grocery store at the packages, like added sugar is like what? It's like why? It's like one ingredient, two ingredients. Like what are you doing?
Dude, the Greeks will be just going. I think it's from Greece, right? I think hummus is from Greece. I'm willing to be fact checked there, but yeah, I could imagine. I
But
could imagine them going crazy.
you guys
Yeah.
been following all the like the .NET Conf announcements that happened this week?
No, like I gotta be honest. KubeCon has been dominating my
Yeah.
feeds. It seems like everyone else went except for me, right?
Well, I didn't.
And I know, but like somewhat, they say it's like one of the greatest parties on earth, right?
Yeah, like I've heard that. And I do want to apply and go, but .NET Conf, Jeff Fritz and
So
team put on an amazing show. .NET 10's out, Aspire 13's out, Visual Studio 2026 is out, like all sorts of really cool stuff. There's a really great conference, like content.
okay, I have to mark that in the calendars for next year, right? And see what's happening there as well.
Yeah.
I know this is a great segue for Guil, because like I say we've been volunteered. I got volunteered and I volunteered Guil, right? That's basically how it works, right, Guil?
Yeah.
He's my wingman and everything, right? So we got Ignite coming up.
Yeah.
And guess who's going to be speaking about all the updates to our Western Canadian customers and community? That's right, me and Guil, right? With the help of some others as well. But I think we get the material like 3 days before we're supposed to talk about it.
Oh, I always love getting a marketing deck from somebody else. Those are always fun.
Yeah, so I'm keen to see what's in there. I did believe that, is it application gateway containers or containers for application gateways just went GA, right? And I did a lot of stuff on that about 2 years ago, and I know that resonates a lot with people out in the field. Like they've been waiting for that for a while. And I must have missed this update, but I blogged about it yesterday. But has everyone heard of Nginx?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
end of life.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
I mean, okay, it's like a reverse. So what's the replacement story for?
Well, there's migration paths,
Right.
right? So there's some cloud native projects, and then obviously there's like CNI ingress for us, right?
Is it
For
end of life
Azure.
on Azure or like the project is done?
Like the project, dude. Like I wrote a blog about it yesterday. I was like, when did this happen? And I looked into it and it was like, yeah, there was only 2 maintainers. I went, 2 maintainers. I think this thing it's like the first thing you deploy in a Kubernetes cluster, right? To see that HTTP error, right? Like you can't root inside the cluster. But yeah, end of life March being discontinued. There's other things that are taking its place because even though it was widely loved, there was only 2 maintainers.
Well, I
And
saw the article on like FFmpeg, like they're the like video, audio decoder stuff, and they're like, we're gonna stop taking bugs from Google because like they just do AI slop kind of incident reports and CVE
right.
against it, and it's like we're only like a couple of dudes here doing, a couple of people doing assembly code for all these platforms. If you're not gonna donate money, go away.
Right.
But I get it. 2 people supporting Nginx. Wow.
It's pretty crazy, right? And then I heard the news about, do you remember when Oracle bought Sun Microsystems?
Oh God, long time ago. Yeah.
And then it created that debacle about the Java. I'm going to say the virtual machine. It was called the Java runtime, right? And I remember that they had to take it out of Windows. and it had to be a separate run. Do you remember that, Chris?
There
Guil, do you
were a
remember?
lot of things because this goes back to the mid and late 90s when there was a different problem with Sun where C# came around because we had J++ and J#, and then lawsuits on the APIs. There was also
That's
the
right.
whole thing about Star Office.
Do you remember Star Office? It used to
Star
run in
Office,
Java, right? Yeah.
and then it the lawsuit that became and then then there was OpenOffice, and then there was like LibreOffice because OpenOffice was owned by, and everyone was worried about the law. Like it's always been lawsuits. Like there's always lawsuits. Come on, and yeah, we had Jerry, the Java runtime, like built into Microsoft, and we had to pull that out. There's
That's
an
right.
Open JDK that like we were building and supporting for a while. Like,
So I saw some news this week, and it was more like a blast from the past, right? Because I know Amazon built their own Java engine and everything, right? Just to spite, like, they got beef with Oracle a lot, right? They built their, what was it? Was it the, I'm gonna get the database technology. So they reproduced the Oracle database, right, inside of AWS, so they didn't have to pay licensing, right? And then they built their own open source version of Java as well for people to use, right? So they didn't have to pay the licensing. But yes, Sun Microsystems put Java in the GPL license agreement and pretty much open sourced it this week, which was
really
major news, right? So yeah, bit of a
so major that most of us did.
The only reason it caught my attention was because I was like, that was a job of mine, was installing that Java runtime right on Windows XP back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I hadn't heard that. Wow. Okay.
So yeah, Guil, what have you been up to, dude? What bridges have you been building? Which roads have you been forging in the mighty world of infrastructure?
No, for me, it's more about the agentic AI, playing around the AI landing zone for Azure. So
Okay.
there's
What a beast.
we are trying to connect pieces and to improve the solution for our clients right now. So there's not much that I'm allowed to say, but there's lots of improvements coming up, and we are trying to make it work for different scenarios with connecting to other clouds as well.
I mean, compared to where we were 2 years ago, like it's light years. Because when we first started doing AI landing zones, everything was key based. There wasn't good private network and VNet support, and we didn't have a good way to load balance because we didn't have global deployments. So we had regional deployments, and like even before PTUs came about. So we were doing APIM in front of OpenAI, using custom policies and like WAF policies to rotate on 429 between different deployments.
That's right,
And
yeah.
we used to have to do that to scale.
Yep.
And then, yeah, there's now in the WAF, the well-architected framework, there's actually an AI workload guidance section there that has a whole bunch of documentation on building AI applications. And then, yeah, the older AI landing zone that, a lot of people contributed to and built around private networks and VNets and connecting Cosmos and stuff. But now Foundry kind of changes a lot of that equation as well, right?
And we're struggling with some because everything's so brand new. We have some part of the code that's we only have the modules on Bicep. Some others we have AZ API. Some others we have Azure M. So I'm trying to connect the pieces and see, hey, how much effort should I put to redesign everything to go Bicep so it's Azure native right away, or should I wait a little bit and troubleshoot the AZ API modules and figure out how to fix some errors, or should I wait for that module to be available on Azure M? So that usually takes a few weeks longer. So that's the struggle that I'm facing right now. So should I redesign everything? Should I troubleshoot with what I have, or should I wait a little bit longer and use the solution?
AVMs are the Azure Verified Modules are open source, and most of them are supported by Microsoft employees.
That's right. They are.
So
yeah.
I would, and we as a for the most part, we're pointing people at AVM because they have the WAF guidance built in with security and reliability. So I would leverage those, continue to leverage those. And if you have a problem, I would submit a PR back,
Yep.
or try to troubleshoot them and reach out to the maintainer of that and be like, hey, there's this gap. How can I help? Here's where it breaks.
Yeah, no, we are relying on AVM for everything that we can. The problem is with the change that we had for the past 2 weeks, where we had like Azure OpenAI, and then it became AI Foundry, and now it's just Foundry. Some of those modules, for example, it used to be Azure OpenAI, the module name, and now it's AI Foundry, and now it's changed to just Foundry on the background. So that caused some trouble
Yeah.
sometimes.
If you don't need new features of the modules, they are all versioned. So you can lock your version to the
Yes.
older name, get it working, and then have a patch later with the newer names.
That's the problem. We are relying on some preview features, so we need to go with the latest.
It's
Yeah.
those
It's especially because almost everything on the Azure AI background can be private. We are struggling right now with speed services. You can make it private, but there's some DNS customization that you need to do. So to
Yeah.
align, okay, how much impact those DNS customizations would cause in my environment that is already running on Azure and has a custom DNS setup on
Yeah.
it, and custom UDRs and all of that. So there's some analysis to go up and figure out the
I mean, of
impact.
course you're gonna have problems. It's always DNS, as I think we've all learned over the from
sorry. She's got stuck in the throat there a little bit. But yeah,
oh dude, it was bad. So I did at my Azure resiliency talk in Lisbon at the Dev Summit.
and it went down while you were
Hold on.
speaking.
No, I do a section on failure mode analysis, and one of the examples is what happens if AFD goes down. So I'm like, low probability unless it was last week, and then like kept moving on. So I give the resiliency talk again the next week, and AWS just had an outage. So I make a comment about AWS. I do it the third week in a row, and then Azure has a problem. And so I was just like, all right, I need to stop giving this talk. But I gotta stop making comments about anybody's outages because it's gonna blow up in my face.
It's a dangerous topic to cover, right? Because stuff happens. I talk about this all the time, right?
Failure is always an option.
Is always an option, right? And like people will go, well, it's an outrage and everything else. But I'm like, but do you remember when you were running a data center?
Well, I bring that up. I'm like, okay, you aren't paying the people. You don't have the redundant thing. You don't have to worry about security. You don't got to worry about cooling, buying the servers. You just pay for what you need and then you turn it off. Like
It's an API, right? Yeah, exactly.
that's what we all as a network, as an IT community have kind of decided is how we run things now. So like there's ups and downs. It sucks when it happens.
It is, yeah. I think we just get so used to it being there, right? That I mean, uptime. If you average uptime now, there must be less outages for companies, right?
I go to this website called Uptime Is, and I bring up like, hey, every manager wants 5 nines uptime, and I'm like, cool.
never
So you
can
get
go
5
down.
minutes
Yeah,
downtime a year, and then I put in there's a reverse uptime calculator, and so you can
right.
put in like, hey, we were down for 3 hours. I'm like, cool, you're at 98% uptime for the month, 99.2 for the year from that one outage. Like, and so I'm like, people need the level set, and people need to understand. Not everyone's a Walmart or a global company. Sometimes we work in our city, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. What's the real requirement you would need?
T-shirt sizes. That's what it comes down to, right? All the time. And there's obviously costs associated with each of those tiers, right? Like I've been in those meetings myself.
Yep.
And the director's like, it can never go down. I'm like, get the checkbook out then, right?
And I'm like, okay, does the whole thing need to be up? Do you just have this core bit of functionality and then the rest is kind of extras and nice add-ons? I'm like, what's your critical path? Like, so it all boils down to requirements and like really making them think about what's important.
Gil, what was you going to say, dude?
Yeah.
I could hear wisdom
No,
coming out of your mouth. Go on.
it's
Yeah,
just because the comment around the taking up the check out of your pocket. When you go from 2 nines to 3 nines, that is a little on the scale. And then 4 nines. When you go to, I would say 4 to 5 ahead, it's like it spikes up like crazy. It's not easy in the architecture. It's not just about the infrastructure. You need an entire team to manage that environment and how complex it becomes.
and people focus on the reliability uptime part, and it's also like, cool, so when it goes down, how do we handle that? Do we have
Yeah.
backups? Do we have recovery? Do we have failover plans? Are we gonna have this extra cost to do the failover plans while we're running? Are we gonna load test to validate? Like, it's not just, oh, you want it in 2 regions? Cool, we doubled it. Wait, you want it in 3? We tripled it. Wait, you want it in 2 clouds? 6 times your cost. Like, if you want multiple
Yes.
regions in 2. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's
But
do this back in napkin math for you.
Let me
But
write this number down for you.
Times 6, times 2, times.
but it was actually I'm the guy that always see the glass half full. So I took that and experience out of that, and I started some discussions with my clients. So, hey, you know that downtimes can happen eventually at any time. Do you know when you're gonna be affected and what would cause a downtime or an outage in your environment? And then they didn't understand what I was saying. Then I gave them some example. Hey, let's say for example, have this AKS cluster here. How many connections can that cluster handle with the payload that you are receiving every day in each one of those packets? If you double that number of packets, what impact would that cause in your environment? And what is the maximum number of packets that your solution can handle? Do you have that number in your hand? And if you reach 80%, do you know what you should do to escalate your solution to handle that extra load that you have? And the answer was no. But we have solutions to prepare yourself for that. So
Mhm.
we sold the Chaos Studio for our clients. So
And
that's one example.
that's what I always tell people. Cool, you have an architecture with boxes and arrows. Looks great on paper. Have you tested it? Have you
Yeah.
put your load balancer, like put a load test against it to make sure you hit your SLA? Cool. Now what happens if you kick over a cluster while you're doing a load test? Does it
Yes.
still meet your SLA? Does it fail over? Does it scale? Do you know? Have you
Yeah.
tested it? So yeah, chaos is
And
a great example.
And another scenario is, for example, sometimes I ask my clients, "Hey, do you know all the pieces of the puzzle of your solution?" They, "Yeah, I know all the pieces." Okay, are you relying on service principal? Do you have an user-defined route that affects your environment? Do you have an NSG? What happens if someone go and change this NSG? What impact would that cause in your environment? If someone goes and delete, or let's say, for example, you have an expiration date for this service principal or for the secret, and what impact would that cause in your solution? A- All those pieces of the
Dependency
puzzle
mapping. Yeah.
should be connected.
Do you have alerts on when your certificates expire? Cool. Security problems are reliability problems. Like if your
Yes.
stuff is not secure and it goes down, not reliable.
So I was, speaking of reliability and DDoS, that kind of thing. So we brought back Code to Cloud Discord server, right? And I like to hang around in other organizations' Discord servers, right? Because, like, one, I'm addicted to desktop wallpapers more than anything, right? And the Linux community seems to have the best desktop. They call it ricing, right? And it comes from modifying cars to make them look faster than they actually are, right? In Japan. Anyway,
Yeah.
DDoSing Discord servers is a thing now, and the has everyone heard of the beloved Linux distro named as Arch? Right?
Yeah. I mean, SteamOS is based on Arch Linux, but there's a bunch of like security focused distros that are designed for like hacking and war driving. I mean, that's where you
Kali.
get like fun little devices like a Flipper Zero, for instance.
Yeah, we're not allowed them in Canada because people's cars were being stolen like throughout the day. It was like So they banned them
Yeah,
because they said that was going to fix the problem of people's cars being stolen, right, Guil?
yeah.
Not that the security on the car was terrible in the first place, and that probably needed to be fixed, right? It's no, let's ban the device. No more hammers, because then they can't break the glass to get in, right, into the car.
Right.
So, yeah, the Arch Linux Discord got DDoSed.
Well,
I'm like with invites and requests, right? I didn't even know this was a thing.
I mean, when I think of security, I think of Kali Linux, like that's
Yeah.
But like, so people are trying to take out
The Discord server, yeah, which is SaaS, right? Because
Yeah.
you just set one up. So yeah, they really doubled down on. I don't know what happened. I just read the highlight reel, but they brought in experts, people from the community, like wheeled them out, right, to straighten the server out. It reminded me of forums. You know when forums used to go like completely awry back in the day? Like someone would post the wrong not safe for work image or tell the wrong joke, and they would roll out this old legend, right? Anyway, they banned AI and everything because they said it was messing up people's from a liability point of view. They were like, yeah, you can't provide an answer with AI because it could wreck someone's operating system configuration, right? Because you haven't tested it. And I'm like, well, if I went to Stack Overflow, right, I'd have done. Dude, I was exactly the same, right? I was like, that could have been the same
people
thing.
have posted, hey, I don't know if this works or not, but you should be able to try this command.
I used to just paste it into PowerShell and off you went, right? So but yeah, it just got me thinking, right? Like even Discord servers aren't safe anymore, right? So I've tried to implement some security. Obviously there's a paywall for everything because we don't want you to be secure unless you pay some money, right? But yeah, the Code to Cloud Discord server is back.
So speaking of Arch Linux, did you guys see all the Steam announcements the last week or so? There's a new
there's a new computer coming out. Right? Look at me, I'm sounding
Steam
really old.
controller,
Yeah.
There's a Steam Frame, which is a VR headset that has a 6 wireless connection, and then there's a Steam Machine, which is
Steam Machine. That was it, right?
I sent this one to Kevin yesterday.
They had them 10 years ago.
I had one. Do you remember the Dell device?
Yeah, Dell and Alienware had one. I had the Steam Link, and I have the original Steam controller.
It was awesome.
So the new one is supposed to be like 6 times the power of the Steam Deck, and it's 6 inches. It looks. I'm tempted.
You're gonna get one, Chris. Chris, you're gonna get one. Like
I haven't gotten a Switch 2 yet. It's on my list.
I've heard rumors that the PSP is coming back, so I am.
I have the original PSP and Vita, and
yeah,
I also have the original Game Boy.
The new Valve from Steam, or Steam from Valve, it runs x86 games on Linux.
Yeah, well, they use they use a fork of wine. Yeah, that they've been maintaining for a while, and it works great. I love my Steam Deck, and everything runs in Linux. The main things that don't are the super competitive shooters that need kernel level anti-cheat software. A lot of them don't work on the emulator.
Battlefield, Call of Duty, that kind of thing, right? Yeah.
And EA's pulled a lot of their games from Steam.
But everything can be fixed with money. So now that Steam it's sponsoring the project, we're releasing a console, they're gonna fix that soon.
Do you know that argument is an old one because they're like, yeah, well, we don't want to do it because it's on an open source or a Linux platform, right? But then I always refer to the PlayStation, right, which is the most popular console, right?
Which
pretty much runs on Unix, right? It runs on Unix, so it's like you can do it.
Originally, so the original PS3, like I had one of the PS3 Fats. Remember?
Do you remember the Linux OS it got shipped with, right?
I installed it. I ran it. And then I uninstalled it. Like it was a novel. It was a novelty. Come on.
But yeah, that's why I'm a big, like, dare we say it, and maybe the January episode of the merge, right? will it be the year of the Linux desktop? Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I don't know if you played with a Steam Deck, but like I've hooked it up to my TV with a keyboard and mouse. Like you can use it as a full desktop and like browse the web and stuff. There's a huge inside Microsoft uh, Linux community. Like we have a lot of people that maintain projects in Linux and like Systemd and stuff. But like there are people that day one they just want to use Linux from the moment they sign in, until they're done with their day. And so they routinely try to solve authentication issues with like Chromium and Edge and VS Code and like desktop auth issues and stuff like that.
There was we had I interviewed, is it Jim Perrin? I think I got his name wrong. Jim, if I got your name wrong, I really apologize. Anyway, he's a product manager. I think we lured him from Red Hat, and he built Azure Linux, the distro, right? Which is like
Yep, I use it every day.
it's
For
like
speakers.
it's like a merge of Ubuntu and
Well, we have
Red Hat, right? Depending on the package manager, but isn't it something stupid like 100 meg, right? Like
it uses TDNF and it is really small because they try to be distroless on a lot of stuff, which means there's no extra packages. It's like what a lot of our AKS nodes and things run on, like, and you can use it. We at one time had 6 or 7 Linux distros inside of Microsoft. Like if you count like some of the IoT distros for like
that's right.
and stuff. And then this used to be Mariner, CBL Mariner.
That was it, right? Yeah, it
And
made
that was version 2, and now this is version 3, Azure Linux. And
it broke the internet. I remember somebody tried to get the ISO, and they wouldn't put it on GitHub, right? Because they were going to install it as an operating system, and
yep,
somebody managed to do that, right? But yeah, like
yep,
Azure Linux, I know we're big partners with obviously Red Hat and Ubuntu,
canonical
right?
as
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah, like it
Because
just seems to flow so nicely, right? Whenever you use Ubuntu, right, with Azure or anything like our IoT, or you run in a K8 lab at home and any integration there, it's just flawless, right? So
I do have to go now. I'm sorry.
that's okay,
It's
Chris.
been fun.
Let us know how you get on. But yeah, it's
Always.
always great having you on.
I'd love to come back and chat more. Like I'd love just reminiscing about old stuff and new stuff and uh, you know,
Awesome, dude.
venting about weird lawsuits that are happening. We're like, they're still around. Okay, yeah.
Oh, there's always a lawsuit happening, my friend.
Talk to you guys later.
See you, mate, Chris.
Bye.
But yeah, so Gil, I want to talk about the hackathon we've got going on tomorrow, right? Here in our beloved city of Calgary. I think there's over 100 people going,
Wow.
and the problem statement is quite an ambitious one. So they're going to use vibe coding, and I laugh and jest, but I'm willing to be absolutely named, shamed, whatever, proven wrong that someone can try and fix this, because it is in the national interest, but it's to solve the productivity crisis in Canada, right? So when you think of GDP and the financial outcomes of a country, it's all about productivity. Now, productivity doesn't mean return to the office and work harder and work extra hours. It actually means skills and being efficient at delivering business outcomes or work outcomes that contribute to the GDP of a country, right? So if we think of farming, right? If 100 years ago, 150 years ago, we would have, I don't know, collected all the food from all the fields and everything by hand, and now we've got machinery, right? It makes it more efficient, right? Productivity improves. Same with technology, or same with manufacturing, whatever it may be, right? How we get medication from a manufacturing plant to the hospital, right? And into patients, that kind of thing. So yeah, we've got judges. I got to say, I'm one of the judges tomorrow. It's my first time judging something, so I can't wait to see what's going to be on offer. I believe we're using GitHub Copilot as well, which is always a win, right? To help with the coding. Obviously, the Code to Cloud crew is leaning in with coaching and supporting our developer community, right? So can't wait to see that happening. But I think it's going to be a good day, Gil. I mean, are you feeling excited about it? Looking forward to it?
Yes, I am. It's always good to see brand new ideas fresh from people's minds. And even if every time we are supporting someone, we learn something new. So I hope it's gonna be a great learning experience for us either.
I agree. It's when you get shown something and you're like, I can't believe I'm doing it the hard way for 10 years, right? Like that's always the way, right? But I'm looking forward to it. It's a full day though. Like the hackathon is a full day, right? But yeah, like we've partnered with Tech Thursdays, right? With Philip down there, right? And I just can't wait because, like, you know, it's snowing already here. It's starting to get colder. I mean, we've had a really good fall or autumn, depending on where you are in the world, right? Normally, it's pretty cold by now, right? And we've had 3 days
Yesterday was
worth of snow.
15.
I just can't get my head around it, Gil. Like the first winter I had here was a shock, right? It was so cold, and then after that, it's just been getting warmer, right? So
The first winter drove on top of a lake with a truck. Last year we couldn't do that.
we
It wasn't cold enough.
we did, yeah. We wanted to dice with fate, and Gil convinced me, even though I didn't need much convincing, to drive on to a lake where we live, and it must have been frozen solid though, right? It was
Yes,
completely.
it was minus 16 for over a week.
Yeah, so, and I think it got to like minus 41, right? So we took the truck on the lake and we turned off the traction control and really enjoyed ourselves, until we realized that it was probably not the best thing to do, right? So we got off. I just remember seeing that guy in the BMW. We were there, right? And we saw him and he was in the middle, like this lake's huge, right? So a couple of miles wide, whatever, right? A couple of 1,000 kilometers wide. This guy was brave. I think it was a free series, but it was pretty far away. And the guy was just like donutting and burning out in the middle of the lake. And I just thought to myself, how are you going to get back to the shoreline?
And I sold my BMW. I lost the opportunity to do the same.
I know, but you'd have had to be towed out, right? I don't know. And then you've got to convince someone to drive to the middle of the lake.
I know a few crazy guys that will be able to help. There's one right in front of me here.
I know, right? I was about to say I'd have towed you out, dude. I would have come and got you. I just kept on thinking. Imagine if he was out there to the middle of the night, right? And the Mounties and the rescue team are just looking at him, right, with binoculars from the shoreline, right? But yeah, so we got that, and then we have a data and AI event on Wednesday, which I still need to write my code for. And then we have an Ask Me Anything session on December 4th, which is about careers, right, in tech. Now, this is something that's near and dear to my heart, especially with the current scenarios with economies and the way that organizations are operating at the moment and everything else, right? So, anything we can try and do to help, and people can come up and ask me raw questions. And I believe I've got some help from a friend out in Quebec, out east. Maxime Roy is going to be our moderator for the session. So he wanted to get involved, so we got him on board for that. I'm looking forward to that, see how many people turn up. But it's something I want to try and do more of, because like I don't know. We might go full Dave Ramsey style and have people calling in, right? Going, hey, I've got this problem with my career and I'm trying to do this and I don't know what to do. Because, like, it happens to all of us. Like, me and Guil talk a lot about what's next or what we're trying to figure out, or, you know, even stuff like what technology should I focus on, right? Because, you know, people that are in leadership or in business have a different track, but for technical folks, I mean, originally it was about a piece of tech that you wanted to work on, right? Or learn. And then that's what you based your career on, was more on skill sets. So it's a bit different for us, right? So I'm looking to build that out into the new year. But can you believe it, Gil? I've got guests already all the way up to the middle of March for the podcast.
That's great.
I know, right? I've got a lot of work next year. So, but yeah, got some really good people coming on. But yeah, I'm going to leave it with Gil's final thoughts, but again, keep on plugging it.
Yeah.
But the Code to Cloud Discord server is back up, and you can get to it by going to connect.codetocloud.io. Again, that's connect.codetocloud.io. If you go to that link, it'll take you to our link tree where all our socials and invite links are there, right? So a lot of work's been done on the Discord server to get it up and running. And there's a new generation of folks on there, so it's back by popular demand. But Guil, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, no, for those here in Calgary, there is an event going on next Thursday. It's called Critical Solutions on Azure. I'll be talking about AI landings on, and we'll be talking about reliability on the solutions and the also security solutions. So Jeremy will fly from, I think it's Winnipeg that he lives on. He'll be flying here to talk about security on Azure. So it's going to be a good event as well.
Jeremy Kingston, is that right?
Yeah.
The guy's, what a dude. Like, he's helped me out so much over the years. Like,
it's mind blowing every time we talk about security with him.
That guy should be like working for the NSA or something, right? Like, he's pretty cool to talk to, right? But yeah, really methodical, down to earth. Feel free to ask him questions. He loves all that, right? Like, yeah, like that guy's helped me out on so many projects over the years. Really good guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to go back. I've had a week out of the office this week, and I'm going to order in breakfast, and I'm going to carry on watching Twin Peaks. And if you don't know what Twin Peaks is, now you know how much of a nerd I really am, right? So go and Google Twin Peaks, right? If you don't know what it is. But yeah, thanks again for listening. Don't forget to check us out on our socials again. So that's connect.codetocloud.io. And we'll catch you on the next episode of The Merge. So, goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.